Hello guys and welcome to today's tropical update. I'm going to have two videos today. This first video is going to be about Tropical Depression 17E that has formed in the Eastern Pacific as of the 11 a.m. advisory. And the next video, which is probably going to be released around 5 o'clock, is going to be about Invest 98 and 99W in the Western Pacific. But as I said, this video right here is about Tropical Depression 17E. This is a new tropical depression forms southwest of southern Mexico, expected to strengthen over the next couple of days. So it's located at 12.7 north, 100.5 west. It's moving west at 10 miles per hour. Minimal pressure is at 1,007 millibars. Max sustained winds are at 35 miles per hour. So let's take a look at where the wind speed probabilities are. And as you can see, some of these darker shades are coming towards Mexico, which will most likely have a landfall somewhere in Mexico here by the looks of things as of right now. So right now the coast is probably at 60 to 70% chance of tropical storm force winds. And there's also some hurricane force winds probabilities here. And the coast of Mexico right now is only at 5 to 10% for hurricane force winds. Let's see the arrival time. So here is the arrival times, and it looks like sometime between tomorrow and Sunday is when the winds are going to probably be arriving and into Mexico's coast. So with that being said, we're going to take a look at the cone here, and the NHC does, like I said, does predict a landfall somewhere in western Mexico coast, either as a hurricane or a high-end tropical storm. Right now, I think that the max peak right now is 80 knots, which we'll actually go and take a look at that right now with forecast discussion. So, yeah, 80 knots or 90 miles an hour. And it does, and the NHC actually expects it to weaken a little bit before it goes inland. So, there's that. Environment for strengthening over the next couple of days, with very little vertical wind shear and moist air mass at sea surface temperatures of near 30 degrees Celsius. Therefore, steady intensification is indicated by all the model guidance to 60 hours. There is some weakening indicated by the models of 72 hours around the time the system would be nearing the coast of Mexico, which could be due to some dry air entrainment into the cyclone's circulation. The NHC intensity forecast is near the IVCN consensus solutions through 72 hours, but below HCCA. Beyond landfall, the intensity forecast is near the decay ship prediction. It should be noted that the ship's rapid intensification guidance indicates a greater than 60% chance of a 55 knot increase in strength over the next 60 hours and 65 knots over the next 72 hours. So this is pretty intense here. So, we could be seeing near a Category 3 if the rapid intensification gets their way. All right, so here is everything else we need to know about Tropical Depression 17. We're going to take a look here at the IR, or IR here. As you can see, it is looking pretty decent. As you can see, it's rotating nicely, and we got a nice burst of convection here where the center should be. These rain bands are extending far out too, so this is a pretty extensive system, it looks like, from this look, and it does look pretty nice. I don't predict a tropical storm at 5 p.m., but maybe it'll become a tropical storm at 11 p.m. update. Okay, let's take a look at the GEFS minimal. And right now, as you see, the black line is the average of everything. And it's around 989, so that's definitely a hurricane, Category 1 hurricane. As you can see, most of these make landfall into Mexico. little bit later on down the line here in about 72 hours. Some of them have it as strong as a strong tropical storm all the way to a Category 2, making landfall here on the GEFS. Now here we are with the GEPS tracks and minimal MSLP, and as you can see, this is a lot weaker than the GEFS, and it keeps it out to sea for most of the plots here. There's probably one, two, three that make it landfall on Mexico. All right, so here we are. We're going to take a look at the GEFS, and this was initialized at 12Z, which is I do believe it's around 8 a.m. is when 12Z is, and right now this is pretty accurate because this is a tropical depression right here at 1,005 millibars. So let's take a look at the wind shear here, and the wind shear is bad actually. Well, not bad, but it's bad enough to forego slow strengthening, at least on this 6 hour time frame. The relative humidity is at 95%, which is pretty excellent. 24 hours, we got steady strengthening here. And not the shear now is down at 9 knots. So this is why we've seen some pretty nice strengthening in that 24-hour time frame. The relative humidity is 94%, which is still pretty nice for the system. So we're gonna go 24 more hours out, and at 972, we're at a borderline Cat 3 right now. So it's not gonna let me check out the soundings. So, and then 60 hours is pretty much gone from the GFS. So, hopefully we can get this in and out, and it'll be done, and hopefully no extensive damage will be done to Mexico if it quickly, dies out. Now, we're going to take a look at the Ecmwf, or European for short, and we're already going ahead here. This was initialized at 0Z yesterday, and as you can see, there's nothing there. So 24 hours out, 1,006 millibars. 48 hours out, 1,002 millibars. 998 at 72, and it makes landfall probably at 90, between 90 and 96 hours as probably a strong tropical storm here. So there's a lot to watch here. So we're gonna take a look at the CMC now, and right now it's at 1,008 millibars. This is 6 hours from now, and 24 hours out, 1,003 millibars. 48 hours, 995. 990 at 66, and it makes landfall around the 66 to 72 hour time frame as a strong tropical storm, which, here's my opinion on this before we take a look at the last, model here. If you want my opinion, I believe it's going to be in between Cat 3 and Cat 1. That's how I feel about it. I'm sticking to a Category 2 landfall on Mexico. Honestly, I don't want to make it landfall at all in Mexico, but right now the models are indicating that this is probably going to make landfall in Mexico at some point in the next 3 days. So what that means is you got to watch out for very heavy rain. You got to watch out for those very strong winds. You got to look out for storm surge most likely. And if you please try not to be outside in this. And if you absolutely have to be outside in this, remember that there could be flooded streets. And as we say here in America, turn around, don't drown. Go back home if it's too bad. And that's just how I feel about it. I know when I talk about these things that I always have to go over and stress these points to you guys because I want to make sure that everybody stays safe and you guys are hunkered down, and I don't want to hear about any deaths. Play smart, be smart, stay inside, or evacuate if you're told to. and that's just how I feel about it. Okay, so here's the final model we're going to go over, and this is the icon. This is 12Z's icon here. And as you can see, we're starting off at 1,010 millibars here. We're going to go 24 hours out, 1,006 millibars, so it's going pretty good. 48 hours, 1,004. 72, 1,000. 96, 1,003, I believe. And icon barely keeps it offshore, but there's definitely going to be effects if it's that close. So I wouldn't really call that out to sea, but it's going out to sea if you get what I'm saying here. So that is all for those models. Anyways, I want to thank you guys for watching again. I appreciate you guys so much. Like I said, I'm gonna try to stay here for the remainder of the seasons, and I might start looking into other basins as well going forward. And like I said, later on today, I'll have a video on Invest 98 and 99L. Or not 99L, but 99 and 98W. Anyways, thank you guys, and I'll catch you guys in a few.